Chicago Bears embarrassing, emphasis on the bear, themselves in the primetime spotlight in a loss, 19-13 loss. One of the very few losses I'm expecting to look as good on paper, but as horrible on footage as we'll see this season. I was looking to start this on a positive note, right? And that's going to be hard. I can't lie. It's going to be hard to sit here and act like everything is rosy with this team because it's not. So I'm not going to sit here and make up lies and fill fans with false hope. Here's what you got. You got a punter who is as advertised, right? He flips the field. He's done great when called upon, and he's been called upon a little bit too much in the first 2 weeks. It's never a good thing to be bragging about the punter. That's not something I would want to put out there for Bears fans. Hey, you guys got a great punter. But we'll get to the offensive production here in a moment. Cairo Santos, he's been excellent to start the year. Perfect on the year. Hit multiple, I believe it's 3 from 50 yards or more. But, you know, at this point, 19-13 on paper, which again on film it'll look like 90-13. In a game where the Bears had more time of possession, they got absolutely pounced on. And that's from the Houston Texans defense. Now, there's so many layers here that I want to hit on, and I'm going to start with this. It is 2024. We all have social media, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, right? We all have these content platforms, and still the Bears pulled off a miracle and almost a heist that no one's talking about. And it's a little scary that they were able to do this. The Bears were able to catfish in 2024. They were able to catfish Caleb Williams. They catfished their fans. The Bears pulled out a catfish scheme. They told us, wow, look at all these weapons. We got Shane Waldron coming in. He's going to redefine this Bears offense with Caleb at the helm. And they have their 4th lowest total yards through 2 games in franchise history. Caleb Williams has yet to throw a touchdown. They've scored 1 touchdown on offense. Caleb Williams, you had your welcome to the NFL moment 2 weeks ago. Welcome to Chicago, my guy. Welcome to Bear Down. You know what? Bear Down is not a term of like go Bears. It is a term of the quarterback got hit again. The Chicago Bears do this all the time. We see it all the time. It happened to Mitch Trubisky. It happened to Justin Fields, and it happened to Caleb Williams. I was speaking to somebody today, and I said, it doesn't matter. Patrick Mahomes, Caleb Williams, Carson Beck, if you're talking college football, any quarterback, any great quarterback will get destroyed behind this offensive line. That person said to me, they said, well, the Chiefs didn't have great offensive line production when Mahomes was first getting started, when he played against the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. I said, okay, that's 2021. Looked up the stats. Mahomes was sacked 28 times. Justin Fields was sacked 58 times in that year. And that doesn't tell the whole story, but it tells a big part of the story. And it's not even the story of comparing quarterbacks around the league. This is a thing that has happened for so long in Bears franchise history. It's happened with Jay Cutler, Mitch Trubisky, Fields, and now Williams, and we continue to see it. And it's almost as recognized as the Chicago Bears are historically throughout their franchise for running backs and strong hitting, powerful defenses. They're also well known for their horrid offensive line play. They catfished everybody. They brought in, this is what they said. Hey, Caleb, we got all these fancy weapons, shiny weapons for you. We've got the good coaches here. We got a culture of being a Chicago Bear that you're going to love. You can make the bear claw. It's going to go all over billboards and T-shirts. And, man, you're a star. We're going to bring in Hard Knocks. And they're the same old Bears. They're the same old Bears. And honestly, as a fan, I want to slam this table and just say I'm sick of it. I just, listen, the rookie quarterbacks in 2024, they have not gone off to a great start. I don't think there's a single one who has thrown for a touchdown pass in 2 weeks. Bryce Young, last year's #1 quarterback, is benched after 2 games. New head coach in Carolina, and Bryce Young has been benched. I'll touch on that in a moment. But this game came into Caleb Williams, CJ Stroud, potential rookie of the year against last year's superstar rookie, and CJ Stroud did the damn thing. Now, I can sit here and say that it is all on Caleb Williams. And one thing is, he is 0 for 11 on deep passes in the first 2 weeks. Last night, I will give Caleb this. He was sacked 7 times. Could have been anywhere between 10 and 15 if he didn't make plays with his feet. He had some very ill-advised throws. And I will say this to Caleb Williams. You're not going to save this team with one big pass. You're not going to save every game with one downfield pass to escape a sack. Get rid of it, throw it out of bounds. Let's live for another play. Also, this offensive line showed better protection of their quarterback when it was a legal, on-field legal hit, but linebacker Azeez Al-Shahir of the Houston Texans got right up in Caleb Williams' grill in the play. Then everyone converged on him, pushing, shoving. A little skirmish breaks out. Al-Shahir knows he ain't getting in trouble, so he throws a punch at Roschon Johnson. It is despicable. I think that was a huge momentum dip for the team, who seemed to have some life in the first half. And literally, maybe the Bears just got knocked out. Maybe they just, their whole energy, their whole momentum, their everything, with one punch on the sidelines, they were knocked out. It was an embarrassment. The whole first half, Chris Collinsworth, Mike Tirico, everyone, wow, look at Caleb's growth. We thought this was going to take 6 weeks. He took 1 step forward in the first half to take 5 steps back in the second half. And those 5 steps back led to sacks. This is an embarrassment of an offensive line. This is the equivalent of getting that fancy sports car. You got a Porsche, right? Oh my gosh, I got a Porsche. I worked so hard in my life to get a Porsche. Oh, I don't have an engine. It came without an engine. What am I supposed to do now? The message has been sent league-wide. Blitz the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams is going to try to force plays. The offensive line can't help. And there's no running game. And I want to get pissed. I want to say DeAndre Swift was a waste of money. But it all lies on those 5 guys up front. Coleman, Shelton, the Bears went a cheap route. That you have to not think you're smarter than the league. Ryan Poles, Ian Cunningham, Matt Eberflus. You're not smarter than everyone around the league. That's first and foremost. Don't sign guys, we might have a diamond in the rough here. No, you got what you paid for. You don't have a great center. You overpaid Nate Davis, who's been trash. Ryan Bates is on IR. I thought Ryan Bates was going to be a guy who came in here and was really going to set like a standard on this offensive line. Braxton Jones wasn't great. Tevin Jones wasn't great. Darnell Wright wasn't great. But those 3 guys, we could have a little bit of conversation about, right? Because those are 3 guys I'm kind of comfortable with. But the center and the right guard are so bad that when they're bad, everybody's bad. They're an offensive line. They're a unit. So when everyone is bad, or when one person is bad, everyone is bad. It's atrocious. It's absolutely atrocious. And here, stop me if you've heard this before in Chicago. But the defense is so good. Yeah, it is. It is. Kevin Byard had a big fumble recovery, 11 total tackles. Tremaine Edmonds played his ass off in this game. I mean, this secondary should be getting consideration as one of the best secondaries, if not the best secondary in the league. I mean, you are wasting really good special teams, a great defense, and the locked potential of Caleb Williams. You're wasting it all with a horrible offensive line. If I am the Chicago Bears, moving forward, the message has been sent league wide. We know what you're bad at. We know you can't establish the run. In 2 weeks, the narrative is out for all to see on the Chicago Bears. So what do? You got to bring in people. You got to bring in competition. You got to bring in offensive linemen to push these guys. And honestly, if this defense is as good as everyone believes it is, feast on this offensive line in practice. Make their lives a living hell until they get better. Either bring in their replacement or feast on them in practice until they get better. Who cares? Caleb's going to get hit anyways. You got the jerseys on him in practice. It cannot be so bad from practice to game that the coaches don't realize they have to fix something. Is it that much of a massive swing from practice where Eberflus and the offense go, all right, I'm happy with what we have at the offensive line? You can't be. You absolutely cannot be. And you know, I could harp on this all day, but I'd like to congratulate the Chicago Bears and their decision makers for catfishing Caleb Williams. I'm sorry, Caleb. You got duped. You thought everyone and Caleb thought, oh, maybe this is the guy. Maybe this is the answer here in Chicago. There's no way. He's so much better than everybody else they brought in. And that's great. That is a fine narrative to run with. But you can't be good if you can't have 2 seconds to think after you say, hike. I'm Mike Pendleton. Subscribe to this YouTube channel for more. We'll have a week 2 recap this week. We'll have plenty more this week, some combat sports coverage, some football coverage. Stay tuned. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at MikeP2310. And make sure to, again, subscribe to this YouTube channel on Twitter at MP2310. We'll try again next week. Week 3, Bears taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Indianapolis, their tour of the AFC South continues. There are winnable games for the Chicago Bears in 2024, but they will be a laughing stock for 2024 if they don't address the offensive line. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see you guys soon. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for more. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think of the 2024 Chicago Bears after week 2 in the NFL.